Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to do another week of memory keeping in my planner, and this week is the week of October 10th through the 16th. I'm using a kit from Cinderella paper. We're back to Cinderella paper this week. I think this was called Enchanted Forest, and I just thought it was a really beautiful kit. It's nice and moody and dark, which was kind of relevant for this week because we actually had like cloudy, rainy, thunderstormy weather this week. Now, the week that I'm recording this voiceover, it's 90 degrees again. That's kind of how fall works here. Is like we'll have a week of a heat wave, and then we'll have a week where it's more like fall, and you think it's finally fall, and then it goes back to warm weather again. So anyway, I also picked this kit because I thought it would be good to commemorate my 10-year dating anniversary with my partner, with my fiance. This will be our last dating anniversary before we get married, which is so weird to think about. It's also just weird to think that we've been together for a decade because it feels like I haven't known him that long, and yet like I've known him forever at the same time. It's very strange. I also spent all of my 20s with the same person. Isn't that weird? But cool at the same time. So anyway, I just thought this was a really pretty kit to kind of theme around my anniversary. I actually asked my fiance, hey, once we're married, do you still want to celebrate our dating anniversary? Because I think a lot of guys are just like, no, I don't need more anniversaries to remember. And surprisingly, he was actually like, no, let's like keep celebrating it. So we probably won't make as big of a deal publicly anymore after this point, but we like any excuse to go out to dinner or like get cards for each other or whatever. So we'll probably keep celebrating it and then also celebrate our wedding anniversary just because we enjoy it. So, but probably won't make as big a deal about it to other people. Like this was the year, 10 years is a big deal to me. So like I was very like out there with like telling everybody. But I'll probably be a little more low-key with our dating anniversary from now on. But at the same time, like it's important because it's when we actually decided to be together versus our wedding anniversary is just going to be like when we decided to have a party. And also when we're like swearing all these things in front of people, which is meaningful. But this is the anniversary of when we actually got together, which wasn't a date that we picked. It was just like that's when that happened to happen. So I don't know. I go back and forth. Early into our relationship, I didn't even call it an anniversary. I would call it our annual first date just because, I don't know, I was on some weird thing about how anniversaries are only for marriage. I don't know. I had, you ever go back and think about some of the opinions you had earlier in your life and you're like, I didn't need to have an opinion about that. I've just always been very opinionated. Anyway, I did do 4 extenders this week. I got a new sheet of the like extender boxes from Scribble Prints Co. And I have learned from people on the internet that you cut these up and then you make them go farther. So that's what I did for 4 of the boxes here. The tricky part with this is that I don't always have things to put on the back of those. So I had some extra full boxes that I pulled in, or that I'm going to pull in eventually. You'll see that. But I definitely went all out this week with decorating my planner. I don't always do this way, but I do want to kind of start practicing with some special weeks just so that by the time we get to the wedding week, because I know I'm going to need extenders for that, I have some practice because it's hard to like save all of that just for like that one special week and then you don't know what you're doing technically and you don't know how to stick all the stickers down. With full box extenders, you usually have to give them time to lay flat. So you see my headphones there. They kind of go with the color scheme of the kit. And then for some reason there were 2 boxes in this kit that had feet in them and I wasn't really into it, which sounds weird out of context because it's feet. But like the extra boxes, for some reason, I decided to put them upside down on the extenders. Like you can see I'm putting that girl upside down because I'm going to use 2 other boxes with that same art. In the spread, I don't know if the girl upside down looks any good, but it's only going to show if you flip that extender open anyway. And then I had to hold down the the full box extenders with clothespins as well, just to weight them down. Then I'm going to go in with the glitter headers and then interrupt the glitter headers by putting in some underlays. So I got 2 underlays for this kit. If you watched my lineup video, you already know this, but I brought in Leaves 2.0 in dark green and Lover in light pink. Both are from Plana Hannah. And so each sheet comes with 8 full box underlays, right? So I technically had 16, which should be enough on a normal week and should even be enough if you do like 2 extenders, I think. This is like my first time mixing colors and like having underlays in every single box. And so I did kind of mess up the pattern at some point because I had so many extenders. So you'll see that, like especially on Sunday, I have 2 boxes with the hearts, the little pink hearts. And so it looks a little weird. It got a little messed up, but I don't feel like you notice it that much. I don't know. I'll do better next week. I feel like I'm going to need extenders next week as well. And I'm also bringing in 2 sets of underlays. So I learned from this experience what I needed to do better next time. It's not a big deal. It's just not like perfect, the order of things. It's fine. But like at the bottom of Friday, I didn't have an underlay for that box, so I had to bring in some half-cut headers that I had left over from a foil bundle from Scribble Prints Co., which is fine because I brought in gold foil in addition to the dark green and the light pink. But once you put underlays down, since they're on that clear translucent paper, you're not going to take them up unless you have undo, and I do not have undo. So yeah, that's where I realized I'm like, I think I messed up here. So I was just like, well, let's just put the underlays down that I've got and we'll try again next time. So I don't even know how to explain where I went wrong and what I could do to fix it. Look at me trying to planner math here. I could never be an architect. I could never be like an engineer or something unless I really, really, really practiced, because it is so hard for me to figure out where things go or how things are supposed to fit together, because I just don't spend a lot of time thinking about that. So yeah, I'm going to have to bring in some half-cut headers at the bottom of Tuesday and then at the bottom of Friday, because I just didn't have enough underlays because of how many extenders I had. But yeah, this week we made time to spend time together, which was nice because we're both, I don't know why, but well, I know why for me because it's midterms, but I don't know why October is always busy season for my fiance too, in the planning world, in the literal planning world. He works in city planning. Maybe it's because they're trying to get a lot of things done before the holidays. I feel like that's a thing. Obviously for me, this was week 8 of this. Yeah, this is week 8 of the semester that you're seeing here. So we're right in the midst of things. And it's hard because like we want to celebrate our anniversary, but then we're both so busy. So we made time for each other. That is important. We went out to dinner on Friday night, and then we went to the pumpkin patch on Saturday morning. So that was really nice. The pumpkin patch is one of those things, especially because the one we go to, they ask on the weekends that you buy a parking pass in advance because it gets really crowded. It's one of the few like pumpkin farms in the area, so that's why it's so popular. Not a lot of farmland down here, as you might imagine. Where I used to live, tons of farmland, pretty much all farmland. But here, not so common. So it's one of those things where it's like if we don't specifically plan and reserve in advance, we just won't go to the pumpkin patch that year and we'll just buy pumpkins at the grocery store. We have not been back to this place since 2019. So it was nice to go this year. I don't think they were open in 2020, or at least they weren't open to like let people in. And then last year we just didn't have time. I forget what we were doing. I don't even remember. Whatever. I'm assembling the sidebar now, so I have 2 habit trackers for flossing and skincare, and then I'm putting in a dinners weekly checklist, and then I'm putting in the rest of the washi from that like dark, moody pattern. I love that. And I'm gonna put in one of the glitter half boxes to write in a quote from a Casey Musgraves song. I love Casey Musgraves. I've been listening to her first album on repeat in my car because my car is so old that the only way I can listen to music is either the radio or CDs. And for some reason, there's like no radio stations down here that I like. A lot of it, and this is like regional, right? A lot of it is like regional Mexican music, which is totally great. If you're into that sort of thing. I don't personally listen to that, so I just have not found a radio station down here that I've liked. So I'm just listening to like albums that I bought a million years ago, like Casey Musgrave's first album. All of that to say, since it was cloudy this week, I wrote in a quote from her song called Silver Lining. And since my cat was so like traumatized by the thunderstorm, and even when it wasn't storming, she was traumatized. She hates, even if there's like what I like to call a spit of rain, where it's just like the littlest bit of rain, she freaks out. But anyway, the song says something about like, if you're ever going to find a silver lining, it's got to be a cloudy day. And I need my cat to understand that. But she won't, because she's a cat, unfortunately for her. Well, I love that she's a cat. However, it's really hard to communicate with her that she's not going to die because it's raining outside. But I don't know what she went through earlier in her life. Maybe she went through something where she really was going to die if she got wet. I always picture that opening scene from Oliver and Company. If you've watched that movie, it makes me so sad. But I just picture my cat went through that. She was like the last kitten left in the box and it was storming. And maybe that's her story, because she was a street cat in LA, in South LA. She's such an LA girl. She can't handle rain. Sorry if you're an LA girl, like you're from down here. I don't mean to disparage you, but when I lived in Berkeley and like everyone I went to college with was from Southern California, they would complain about the weather. The only two people who didn't were one of my roommates who was from LA, and then Nathan, who's also from who's from Orange County down here. And those two people, I'm like, okay, we're on the same wavelength. But a lot of people, I'm just going to be real, like a lot of people from Southern California do not know what to do when it rains. And even me, just being from the northern part of California, really, I'm from like Central California, I can even handle weather better than they can. And once I moved down here, I'm like, okay, now I get it, because it rains like 2 seconds every year. Okay. Again, sorry if you're from LA. I know a few people who can handle clouds and rain. And other than that, nope. So moving on to the day by day. On Monday, my fiance was off because it was Indigenous Peoples Day. I was not off because I guess they just don't want to give us that holiday. Fine. It's fine. I'm not mad about it. But he was off this day, so he was nice and made me coffee this morning. And then I marked with a little stethoscope that my mom was having surgery this day. It seems like everything's going fine with that, so that's good. But I was a little worried. And then I used that stethoscope's from Scribble Prints Co., by the way. Then I used a gold foiled laptop from Planet Hannah to mark grading for that day. And then I used 2 class labels from the kit to mark my classes. And then I used a gas station sticker, I think it's from Planting Roses, to mark that I had to fill up my gas tank. I don't have to do this very often because I don't drive very far. But I did have to fill up this day, and gas prices shot back up again here recently. I forget why, but apparently it's a California specific problem. So I spent like $90 to fill up my gas tank. Luckily, I don't know if this is luckily, I have like a rather large gas tank for a sedan, like it's 15, 16 gallons. So when I do fill up, like it's a lot of gasoline is what I'm trying to say. So that's why it's kind of expensive. Then I pulled in a sticker sheet sticker from Carly Plans to mark that I pulled stickers for a plan with me. And then I used a gold foiled TV sticker from Planet Hannah to mark finishing up the Great British Baking Show's 2019 season and watching Tasting History on YouTube. Tuesday, I marked that it was a cloudy day with a Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. I used a car icon from Scribble Prints Co. to mark that my fiance went up to the office this day. And then I used a planner from Fox and Cactus and a planning time script from Scribble Prints Co. to mark that I filmed a plan with me. And then I used another laptop to mark grading and 2 more class labels for my classes on Tuesday. Then in the extender box, I'm going to mark with a little emoji sticker from my Michael's Recollections planner that in my first class this day, I was seeing something like in my periphery and I thought it was like a little gnat. So I was like swatting it away and then it wasn't going away. So I asked one of the students sitting in the front, I'm like, is it a little spider like crawling down from my glasses? And they're like, yeah. And so I picked it off and was actually really calm about it. Like my students were like, you're so calm about that. And I'm like, it's just like a tiny little spider. It was the teensiest little spider. So I like put it on the, like the, you know how at the bottom of a whiteboard or a chalkboard, there's the things to like hold the markers and the erasers. I put it there. I feel like some of my students might have been a little upset with me for just letting the spider loose in the classroom. It was nowhere near them. But it was seriously like the tiniest little spider. So anyway, that was funny. And then I came home and my cat was hiding under the bed because it was cloudy and it must have like rained just the tiniest bit while I was away. She was home alone, obviously. So I used a Molly as a scaredy cat from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. to mark that because my cat is a little scaredy cat. She's so confident some days, and then other days, like the slightest thing goes wrong and she's anxious, and honestly, same. Moving on. Then at the end of the day, I watched Tasting History on YouTube. I'm all caught up with his videos at this point. I took a couple months off of watching him, and so I had like a huge backlog, and then I just like watched all of them, and it was great. Wednesday, it was our 10-year anniversary, so I used, this is an old version of this sticker, so you can't get this version anymore. It's vintage Itty Bitty Sticker Co. But it's a cute cat couple sitting on the rooftop. So I used that, and then I used a little date square from Scribble Prints Co. to mark that it was 10 years together. And then I also marked that my fiance went to the office with an @ symbol from Scribble Prints Co. And then I used another gold foiled laptop because I was grading again, because that's what I do in October. Then I pulled in an icon from Oh Hello Co. and a workout script from Scribble Prints Co. I used 2 work labels from the kit to mark my classes for that day. And then after work, I decided, you know what? I need to get something special for our anniversary tonight. So I went to Ralph's, which is a grocery store if you're not familiar. It's Kroger if you're elsewhere, but here it's called Ralph's. Not the best grocery store in my opinion. Also kind of expensive. But that's our grocery store here. So anyway, I used a gold foiled shopping cart from Scribble Prints Co. I picked up cheap champagne, a loaf of bread, like fancy bread, like ciabatta, I think. And then I got some smoked Gouda and hummus. And that was like our little treat for that night. So Nathan got home like 2.5 hours later than I did, I think. So I surprised him with all that. So I used Molly and her friend like having champagne. Even if it's cheap champagne, I like it. So I just wanted something like to celebrate. And then I watched more Tasting History. Thursday morning, I had a dentist appointment. I was supposed to go to the dentist 2 months ago, but then I got exposed to COVID and they were like, yeah, we don't want you to come in, thanks. So I finally got to go to the dentist this year. So I have a little tooth sticker and an appointment script from Scribble Prints Co. And then I put in a heart icon from Scribble Prints Co. because the dentist, super nice dentist, by the way. There's 2 different dentists at the office I go to, and I've met with both of them at this point, and both of them are super nice. Anyway, he said things look really good. I've been better about my flossing lately, so who knew that would make dental appointments less painful? Wow, mind-blowing, right? Then I came home and graded and lesson planned, and then my ThreadUp order showed up this day, so I have a little box icon from Scribble Prints Co. I got a sweater dress and a coat, and I think I'm going to pack both for my bachelorette party next week because, well, actually, by the time you're hearing this, I'll have already gone. But what was I going to say? It's going to be like pretty cold up in Tahoe this weekend. Then I put in 2 more work labels to mark my last classes of the week, and then I put in another TV from Planet Hannah to mark watching Tasting History and Mythical Kitchen, both on YouTube. Friday at the top of the day, I marked with a Girls' Night sticker from Cinderella paper that it was 1 week until my bachelorette trip. Like I said, I think I'm putting this video up the Tuesday after my bachelorette party, so hopefully all goes well with that. Then I put in a Papershire wedding couple to mark something related to the wedding, and then I used the day off script from the kit to mark that this was my fiance's other day off this week. This is just like the regular Friday he would have off. So he only had a 3-day work week this week, but then he had to work on Sunday. So now he's going to have like a 6-day work week So it all balances out, I guess. I marked with a weather Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. that it was raining this day, which was lovely, except that my cat hated it. I had to grade because I really needed to kick my butt in gear and get some papers done. So I did not have a whole day off, but my fiance did, so good for him. He went and got his suit fitting done. So I used the suit fitting sticker from Once More with Love because I don't wear a suit personally, but obviously my fiance, well, not obviously, y'all can wear whatever you want. My fiance will be. So he went and took it to the tailor this day. And then he came home and brought me flowers for our anniversary. So that flowers script is from the Scribble Prince Co. wedding sheet. But because we're not having another meeting with a florist, I just used it for getting regular flowers. He got me some orange roses from Trader Joe's. And then he got those little like pumpkin sprigs that you can also get at Trader Joe's. And he mixed them together. So those were, I can't talk, sorry. Those were pretty. Here I am piecing together one of my custom quote overlays from Planet Hannah. So some of the quotes you see here are from her Taylor Swift sheets, and some of them I ordered custom. She did have a typo on that one. Instead of 10, she wrote then. So I just had to cut out the H and I pieced it back together. And honestly, you can't tell. I had already requested like a replacement because the first time she sent me those overlays, they weren't foiled, so she sent them again, and this time it had a typo, but I was like, you know what, I don't need another, I'm not going to bring it up, like, I'll just cut it up and piece it back together, so it turned out perfectly fine. Anyway, you can't see the what is it called? My coffee still has not kicked in. The extender at this point, but the other things I marked on Friday in the extender box were that I ordered my Sadie's Stickers planner for next year, and then this was the day that Robbie Coltrane's death was announced, which was very sad, so I used a little Fox and Cactus Hufflepuff girl for that. And then at the end of the day, we went to a restaurant, a fancy pizza restaurant that we've been wanting to try, but it's kind of fancy, so we haven't gone. But that was our anniversary date, so I have a munchkin from Once More with Love, a couple having like a dinner date, and then I layered over that a Scribble Prince Co. foiled pizza slice because I thought that would be cute. Then I used a ring icon from Planet Hannah from her wedding sheet to mark that our vow books arrived. We had just ordered them a few days prior, but we got some custom vow books. They're really cute. I like them. And then we came home and watched Bake Off, so that sticker is from Little Pencil Design. And then the cat decided to snuggle with me this evening. Now that it's cooling down, she's like wanting to sleep on top of me again, and it's really cute. So I used a little Molly Has Sweet Dreams for that. Then at the top of Saturday, I marked that it was 9 months engaged for us. So I have a ring box sticker from Cinderella paper. We went to Tanaka Farms together, which is a pumpkin farm. Well, it's not just a pumpkin farm. They're like a full farm. They do lots of different things year round. It's just right now is like their most popular time of year, right? So I have Molly sitting on a pumpkin from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. We got 3 different pumpkins of different sizes, shapes, and colors, so that was fun. And we also ate lunch there because they have like a food stand. What else do they have there? You can go on like a wagon ride. It costs extra, so we didn't do it this time. We did that the last time we went there. And then they also have like a petting zoo, which we also didn't feel like paying extra for. So mostly we were just there to wander through all the pumpkins, and it was a cloudy day and it was beautiful to not be there in the blaring sun. We came home, I put in a Maine Coon sticker from Planet Hannah. I don't have a Maine Coon, but this kind of looks like my cat because I finally ordered the cardboard cutout of my cat for her wedding. And then Nathan's wedding ring actually arrived this day, so I used a ring sticker from Cinderella paper. We ordered from this website called Manly Bands, which like the whole premise is super corny and weird and so not my fiance. Like he's like manly. And that's completely fine. But he really liked this one particular style of ring that they had, so he was willing to put up with all the corniness for that. Then I kind of chilled and relaxed, so I just used the Me Time script from the kit. And then we did have a thunderstorm this day, later in the day. So I have a thunderstorm at Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co., which meant the cat was very upset. She like won't come out and eat when there's a thunderstorm, and it's really stressful. So we always have to like counsel her through that. And then we watched Rings of Power this evening because that's becoming like our Saturday night thing. So I have another TV from Planet Hannah. The top of Sunday, I marked something else related to the wedding with a cake sticker from Cinderella paper. Like I said, my fiance had to work this day. He had to go do public outreach for a project that he's working on, so he had to go to a street fair. So I have an alarm clock sticker from Scribble Prints Co. for that because he got up at like 4 or some awful time to drive up there. I got to stay home, of course, and so I used a laptop sticker to mark that I voiced over a plan with me and finally edited my October lineup. And then I did go to a dress fitting this day, so I have a dress fitting script from Scribble Prints Co. and another paper shower wedding couple. I did leave. It was nice to try on my dress, and like some of the changes have been made. It's like the right length at this point, but the bust is still not fitting correctly, which is kind of stressful for me because that's like always an issue I have with everything, and I don't want to have that issue with, excuse me. I don't want to have that issue with my wedding dress, so I left feeling a little bit discouraged. So I have Molly has anxiety for that, but then I came home and I decided to listen to the Sticky Bun Boys podcast, which is an explicit podcast, just FYI, in case you're interested in listening to it, but it's a Bake Off related podcast with 2 of the former contestants. And one of them is like my favorite person from Bake Off ever, Michael Chakravarti, who's from the 2019 season. I love him. I would totally want to be his friend if I met him in real life. But since I don't actually know him, I'm not going to be weird about it. Anyway, so it's a funny podcast. I blew through like all of the episodes this day, and it really cheered me up. While I was doing that, I was destashing and organizing my stickers. So I had a huge stack of kit leftovers on my desk, and I finally finished organizing all of them, like putting the functional stuff into my functional photo albums, and then my the colorful stuff, just like the things that were solid colors, into my multicolor collection. So happy with myself. And then once Nathan came home, we actually ordered our wedding invitations. So I have a little like newsletter sticker from Cinderella paper and the invitation script from Scribble Prints Co. And then we rounded out the day by watching Mythical Kitchen. So then I'm putting in a FaceTimes 2 custom script from Carly Plans, and I'm going to finish decorating with some of the like leftover hearts header overlays that I just decided to put on the full boxes instead, and then little heart deco, both are from Scribble Prints Co. I actually reordered, when is that haul going to go up? In my next haul, you'll see that I actually just reordered this particular foil bundle, so I have the whole one again, but I'm still using the leftovers from this one, just as little deco bits and things like that. So whichever full boxes didn't get a header overlay, those got little pieces of heart deco. So yeah, that is this week. I'm going to go ahead and put some heart deco around our anniversary as well. So definitely a busy week as far as work goes, but we're still making time to celebrate with each other. And then obviously continue planning our wedding, because that is coming up sooner rather than later, actually. It's weird. Right now, I feel like the wedding is still so far away, and yet it's so close. We've still got some key things we really need to figure out, but like also we could just have the wedding with the things that we've already figured out. I need my dress though. I need the dress to be done if we were actually going to have the wedding sooner rather than later. But yeah, I do like that this kit came with that full box on Sunday, because that kind of ties into the wedding dress theme. But anyway, I hope you have a good week. I will talk to you later. Bye.